This is a short-lived series. I think it covers the beginning of video games, like the brown box, all the way to the Intellivision. There's only like 10 parts. I hope he picks it up again. It's actually a fairly informative series. At least for the time. This was made when stuff like the information like this wasn't that common. So I did turn off text-to-speech. That is off. I might turn it back on next stream, but because I have to listen to what Boris says, we kind of need text-to-speech on. Or kind of need it off. Let everyone know that I'm streaming. It is really, really hot in my place. Like, very hot. What's up, Codex? How's it going? What's up, Torsh? Joey, no. Celsius degrees. Hey, the masked man. It's been like 42. Is that hot? Alright. How was my 4th? It was good. I had to work on the 4th. 108. Holy fuck. Yeah, it's been like that around my area, too. It's been pretty fucking up there. I had to work, but it was good. Alright, let's see which video. Don't believe in temperature. This provides all. Pretty warm. Hey, Gaseous. Alright, alright, it's part 1. Irate Gamers, History of Video Games. It's not the heat, it's the humidity, yes.
For over 35 years, video game...
So he created this series back in like 2010, 2009, 2010. Originally, this was like a side thing he was doing, but now he considers this the 4th season of Irate Gamer. This is on his Blu-ray, actually, which you can pick up. And yeah, this is the history of video games. It goes all the way up to the Intellivision.
For over 35 years, video games have played a vital role throughout our history.
Blu-ray. I have his Blu-ray. It's pretty good.
Pac-Man, to Mario, to...
I need to do a video where I take a look at my video and, as if YouTubers have real production values. I need to do a video where I take a look at all my, DVDs and, Blu-rays and stuff, because I have a lot.
Like the Hedgehog, the industry has managed to produce a legacy that runs deep into our culture.
Granting them the need for a Blu-ray. I mean, James Rolfe is a Blu-ray.
As you'll see in this series, the journey from point A to point B is not as clear-cut as...
Fucking Guitar Hero. You guys remember Guitar Hero?
One would expect. And along the way, there were
Burger Time,
rivalries, and cutthroat industry tactics
Mortal
that
Kombat.
shaped the industry into what
Yo,
it is
Tempest.
today.
I think that's Tempest 4000, actually. 3000 or 4000. Joker hand reveal? I already showed you my hands.
Saga. We must go back.
New video should be done in a couple weeks. Nice.
Start at the beginning.
I really wish he'd bring this series back. He's actually just got done his 100th episode of Irate Gamer. Earn Joker. Y2B Productions. History of Video Games. Part 1.
Back in 1961, computers were just emerging as a new...
Without it, we have had no fun since 19... It really is.
Technology. And one of the few places you could even find one was at the MIT University. During that same year, a student by the name of Steve Russell started work on a computer program that was revolutionary for its time. What he ended up creating was a video game called Space War.
Wow, that's like an old radar device, and they just, well, let's put a fucking game on there. Richard Russell?
Now, the game shown
Might
here
be.
is not an exact replica of the original,
It looks like asteroids.
but it's pretty darn close. Space War is a 2-player game that allows each player to take control of a tiny spaceship.
I like how one of the spaceships is literally just the Starship Enterprise. Susie wearing the American flag mankini instead of the streaming Pepsi Man. Programming didn't even exist. Yeah, incredibly large because when the Allies bombed the supply lines, the only survivors were the ones with large hand fat deposits.
And it becomes your mission to destroy the other player by shooting at him before he can destroy you.
Yeah, it looks like asteroids.
Yeah.
It looks like fun. I'd play it.
But aside from avoiding the other players' attacks, you'll also have to worry about this small dot in the center of the screen, which represents the sun. And if
That's a little ass sun.
you accidentally touch it, you die.
Well, yeah, if you touch the sun in real life, you die.
The sun also has its own gravitational pull.
Important in the Smeglors, it's where Empty confessed his love for spheres. Huge Joker hands. Destroyed by the Allies, it was a tiny fate of the former Holy Roman
so if you try to
Empire.
get too close to it, you'll get sucked in and killed.
Boom.
What a bitch.
Bish.
Now it is
I like the little explosion noises.
possible to use the gravitational pull to your advantage by slingshotting your shots around the sun.
That's pretty cool. That's actually a really cool strategy.
It's just too bad I was on the receiving end of that attack.
Friendly fire.
What a pile of shit.
Shit.
One of the cool aspects about this game is that whenever you're on the verge of being killed or destroyed, all you have to do is press the hyperdrive button, and your ship will disappear from the screen.
Hey, Mr. Vids.
Alright.
This was before pixels were a thing. All vector graphics. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Hey, Richard. They just took an old radar kit and turned it into a space game.
Right, time to throw this thing into hyperdrive.
You can do that in asteroids, too. You just kind of pop around.
But be forewarned that once you disappear, you can randomly reappear anywhere on the screen.
Last of his lines, unless he finds an Andrew W. Kalis cat Dennings. I got to meet Boogie himself. You guys would not believe what the shit he said. What did he say, Richard?
Right next to the sun. Holy fireballs of shit!
That was pretty funny. Attack. Don't tell Joey how to string. Don't tell me.
What happens to Captain Kirk?
Because Captain Kirk's
The
cool.
game Space War was an instant hit around campus, but sadly, Steve wouldn't be able to make a dime off his invention since Space War just couldn't be marketed. At the time, computers like this one ended up costing around $150,000.
My fucking watch, my watch, it's like a fucking Fitbit. Not there for Joey, I believe. Oh, that sucks, Richard. One day learn how to use OBS and real-time transcoding. Yeah, my watch has more memory than those big-ass computers behind Chris Bohr's.
And one of the few places you could even find one, right at universities. And since Space War was only playable on these large computers, the odds of actually playing this game back then were about 1,000,000 to 1.
Girlfriend is kind of
Steve had
hot.
taken the idea of video games as far as it
She's a Memphis 10.
could go. And the concept
His
of
autographs and pictures were free. That's
video
surprising.
gaming had to wait almost 9 years until a man by the name of Nolan Bushnell could take the concept to the next level.
That's basically the guy that created the modern video game. Without him, we wouldn't have had the fucking gaming industry. Boxed Wonder Swan at a vendor booth for $50. Awesome. I have Wonder Swan games on my Embernick, but they're all fucking JRPGs and I can't play them.
While
Fatty
attending
coin
college,
is worth more.
Nolan had become a huge fan of the game Space War, and instantly realized the potential of what computer games could become. After graduating, Nolan set off to create a game like Space War that he could make money off of. He first spent many months building a prototype of the game that would work on a TV rather than a computer. He then took the TV and built a fiberglass cabinet around it and placed the game's controls just below the screen.
Literally the first arcade game. If you don't count pinball machines and like whack-a-mole. Are from an era of prime American science and technological supremacy. Yup. Generous war veteran. Dude gave away a copy of Earthbound 2 Dude for free because he was chill and cool. You really wanted it. Awesome.
Even though the product was a complete eyesore, Nolan had just created the very first coin-operated video game, and he named it Computer Space.
Computer Space.
Now, believe it or not, there are actually two different
I love these green screen effects with Chris Bohr's. You can tell this is from like 2009, 2010.
versions of Computer Space that were made, the one-player game and the two-player game. The two-player games were painted green, and the one-player only games were painted yellow,
It looks like outsider art.
red, blue, and Bob Euchre.
Bob Uecker? Who the
Dropping a
fuck?
quarter into the game buys you 90 seconds
Very retro sci-fi design, yeah.
of playtime.
John Flint canceled Nolan Bushnell with allegations and Nolan cucked out. Oh, yeah, fuck John Flint. Contra for free too, awesome. Among Us. Original Star Trek, yeah.
On a one-player game, you take control of a spaceship, and it's your job to fly around the screen and destroy as many alien spaceships as you can before the timer runs out. Fire torpedoes!
Got him.
Yeah, that'll show those anal-probing bastards who's
Kind of looks like the Planet Express.
boss around here. But the two-player game, on the other hand, becomes an all-out dogfight between
Southeast Game
you and the
Exchange,
second
nice.
player. Just like in Space War, the objective is to kill the other guy as many times as possible. But this time, a point system has been added to the game, so you can keep track of just how badly you beat the shit out of the other player.
That's pretty cool. Bushnell Free Palestine. Old times when they thought aliens would have big titties and dress naked. Centrist who simped for Woo, SFO getting shit on by his audience. Ugh, I hate it. I hate short fat otaku. Fuck that guy. Fat centrist piece of shit.
Once the timer runs out,
Smelled and it was where the furries were. Ew, I hate furries. Smashers were.
tally up your score. Alright, let's see. My score is 2 and the other player has 64? What the fuck?
SFO is a gigafag. Yes, he is.
Yes, yes! Up yours, bitch!
Bish.
Sadly, the game Computer Space never caught on, and it was most likely caused by the
Fucking Canadians, not even once. SFO simps for a troon. Of course. Yeah, I don't know what it is with Canadians, but they have severe brain rot.
game's complicated
Looks like a Steven Universe character. Which is funny because in real life he's basically just a fat Jew-looking guy.
controls.
Seriously, go look at a picture of short fat Otaku. He looks like a fat Jew.
Since each ship had to be controlled by a set of 4 buttons, it was just a little bit too much for people to absorb. If Nolan learned anything from this experience, it was that he would have to keep things simple if he wanted his game to catch.
The gold standard. Keep it simple, stupid. Or kiss. They are legally forced to simp for troons. He simps for a troon on Twitter, Lilith something. Which, yeah, that name's a red flag for troons. Some gross fat dude in a dress. He does it for free.
A few months later, on May 24th, 1972, inspiration would strike again.
But they're Leafs.
When Nolan decided to attend a private demonstration of Magnavox's newest product.
Of course, it's Lilith.
And that product was called the Magnavox Odyssey, which was the very first home video game system. Coming up in part 2, the review of the Magnavox Odyssey.
You can't review that. Angry Video Game Nerd already did, even though his video is completely different from yours. Had to migrate to another iPad. Migrate to just... Oh, cool. Video game series on Discovery back then. Yeah. So we're going to watch Magnavox Odyssey, I think. Which one is this? Part 2. So this is his review of the Magnavox Odyssey. And yeah, James, the AVGN did do a review of the Odyssey, but his review is so different. Chris Boers actually talks about all the games and shows off the gun and actually plays it until a reality slop. That's every TV channel.
For over 35 years, video games have...
every TV channel just became lowest common denominator slop.
...played a vital role throughout our history. From Pac-Man... Mario,
Masked Man,
Sonic the Hedgehog. The industry has managed to produce a legacy that runs deep into our culture.
Centipede.
As you'll see in this series, the journey from point A to point B is not as clear-cut as one would expect. And along the way, there are many hardships.
It was the one that started the trend along with MTV, yeah.
Rivalries and cutthroat industry tactics that shaped the industry into what it is today.
That has to be Tempest 4000. Dude as a ghost hunter is funny as hell. It really is. When games had Sovel. Yes.
But in order to tell this interesting saga, we must go back and start at the beginning. While Nolan Bushnell was busy with computer space, miles away another man by the name of Ralph Baer also had the idea of creating video games. But his idea involved creating a video game.
The Brown Box, which is basically just a prototype Magnavox Odyssey. 80s had a lot of slop, but so much that it killed the... Yeah. They canceled Dirty Jobs with Micro and continued to greenlight fucking Mythbusters. I gave up on them. Went viral in 2000, TV was ruined forever. Yes.
They could be hooked up to a television set at home. Ralph, who was a skilled engineer, spent a few years building the prototype of his idea. Once completed, he took the device and showed it to the people.
Joey, JoJo, and Bear Grylls in Man vs. Manlet.
Magnavox. Being impressed with what they saw, they not only bought Ralph...
Those things are a bitch to get working. Holy shit. Like, you actually have to, like, take the thing off, like, take the top off and fucking, like, mess with it. And you have to play it on the right TV. Yeah.
Invention, but also...
Sources of passive income with subscription-based services.
Filed patents on the technology. Now, Magnavox's actions played a pivotal role here, because they now had the patent on video...
Looks like an overpriced iPod charger.
Technology. So any company wanting to go into the business of making video games after 1972 had to pay royalties to Magnavox first. So Magnavox
I wonder if they still have to do that.
began mass producing the Odyssey. And as you can see, it's a console that's very crude in design. Now the unit comes with two controllers.
Looks like a dialysis machine. Fun fact, the molds for the Atari Jaguar are used as dental machines.
6 game cards, and is powered by 6 C batteries.
No, yeah, that's weird. No fucking wall plug? Why?
So let's go ahead and fire this baby up. Just put the batteries in here, plug in the controllers in there, and connect one end of the video cable into the console, and the other end into the,
What the fuck is that?
wait a minute. What the fuck is this? Instead of getting a video cable that looks like this, or even this, we end up...
I hate it's battery charged. Yeah, so are a lot of the old Pong systems back then were all battery charged. And that's technically what a Magnavox is. It has digital logic inside of it. It's a little weird. I fucking hate coaxial cables. I always had to go behind my TV and screw them in. I hated
with
it.
This? What an ass biter. So if we look in the instruction manual, we find that Magnavox used 2 of the most obscure video connectors on the planet. Meaning if you lose just one...
Bear Grylls, right? Yeah, I know who that is. Man versus Nature.
Pieces, you're up Schitt's Creek without a paddle. And you just can't find these pieces at your local Radio Shack. Instead...
Is Radio Shack even around anymore? Just how it was back in... Yeah.
You'll be wasting valuable time searching the universe...
Fucking things in was so insufferable. Yes.
...for a used parts supply store.
Halfway across the universe.
Yes. Do you have a piece of hooks?
Mexican tycoon who was the richest man in the world.
You do? Excellent. You take
His little
American
Jawa
Express?
action figure. Yeah.
So now that
I
we've
love that
finally
noise.
gotten our cord, let's go ahead and plug it into the TV. Now the unit also comes with 6 of these numbered game cards. And here's a fast fact. If you're thinking that each card carries its own game, you'd be wrong, because the main game is actually built into the Odyssey itself. And when a card...
That's actually kind of clever. The cartridges just tell the game how to act. It doesn't actually put a new game in. I think the Mexican division of Sears is his now, and they let him have the name.
When the card is placed into the Odyssey, it's actually creating new command codes so that the game can end up playing differently than before. I should also mention...
Yeah, there's no on-off switch for the Magnavox either. You just pop the game in and it turns on automatically.
One of the few nice features about the Odyssey is that it automatically turns on once the card is placed into the machine. Pull it out, and the system turns off.
That's pretty cool.
Now by plugging in card number 1, we get to play a game called Table Tennis. And on the screen, we have 4 objects.
Oh, it's just Pong.
A line that divides the screen, player 1, player 2, and the ball. Now to move your player around the
I like how the ball is just a square. It took them forever to get perfect circles in gaming.
screen, all you have to do is turn the small dials found in your controller.
That is such an odd controller. That looks like something you'd use for your fucking AC, not a game controller.
The dial on the left moves you back and forth. The dial on the right moves you up and down. So basically the goal here is to try to knock the ball into the other player's court in hopes that it falls off the edge of the screen. If this happens, you win the round. To bring the ball back into play, however, the loser must press the reset button on top of the controller. Now, even though this game is very simple to play, there are still some major downsides that can really cause a gamer to turn irate.
Ergonomic devices are nowadays vertical. Yeah.
First off, there's no point system whatsoever, so you must rely on the players to keep score.
Yeah, this thing literally couldn't keep score. Like you were holding a dick.
The second reason is that the game also has a few annoying glitches. Sometimes after hitting the ball, it slowly travels to the other side of the screen.
Oh.
And sometimes after knocking the ball off the screen, pressing the reset button does absolutely nothing.
Gaming had to start somewhere. Yeah, true.
What a piece of shit. But the worst thing about this game is that both players can travel anywhere on the screen they want to. So how the hell can you even call this a game if you can do anything you want? There's no rules, no restrictions, or even a point system. Boy, this just flips my shit.
Yeah, it's very primitive.
Now, the majority of Odyssey games are intended for 2 players, but instead of grabbing a second player,
I swear, if a giant irate gamer turd comes on screen, I'm screaming. Bethesda, we're the
installed
devs.
an artificial intelligence device into my machine
Oh, HAL.
called HAL.
Oh, Magnavox Odyssey, Space Odyssey.
He's been acting as my second player. So HAL, why don't you introduce yourself?
Didn't sell for shit.
Hello, Dave. So HAL, you having fun so far? Yes, I am. Thank you for asking.
I like how you can always tell it's Chris Bohrs' voice with how he says things and how, like, the pronunciations and shit. With the Atari 2600, I think it was called the Atari VCS back then.
Alright,
Hello,
good.
Dave.
Well, let's continue. Now, the review could have easily ended right here, but Magnavox took steps to extend the life of the product, and they did this by adding in a whole shitload of accessories.
Like a lot.
Flashcards,
It's basically a mixture of a video game console and a board game.
dice, stickers, and about a dozen of these thin plastic overlays. Now,
Wonder what that smells like. Probably someone's basement.
these overlays are vital to the Odyssey, and to use them, you just
Introduced this game to isolated tribes in the Amazon before getting them addicted to porn with Starlink.
place them onto the TV screen.
You just slap it on the TV screen. There's your graphics.
So now instead of playing just a boring black and white game, we're now playing a black and white game with a stupid overlay on top of it. Let's just go ahead and move on. So after placing the second card in the machine, the game is altered so that the ball is the only object on the screen. And the first overlay that's used with the second card is called skiing.
Oh, move out of the way, ski free. This is the real skiing game. Why are there so many Triforces on the map? Hey, Bay-Ray. Oh, thank you. Been a human prime directive.
Now this is pretty much a straightforward game that requires you to move along any desired path until you reach the end. And it doesn't matter if you take the short way, the long way, or even the middle way, because once you reach the end, the game is over. So that's it? What a fucking waste of time. Not only is this game terrible,
You turned off the chat read? Yeah, for this video because I'm watching videos. I kind of need to hear what he's saying in the video.
but it's also a good example of how Magnavox might have been trying to market the Odyssey as more of a board game rather than a video game.
I mean, kind of hard to market a video game considering how video games are primitive back then.
Look closely at this overlay. You'll see that it's just like playing a retarded version of Candyland.
A retarded Candyland.
But instead of candy, we get a white blob of crap. Instead of Peppermint Forest, we get boring Ass Crack Forest. And instead of Gumdrop Mountain, we get Green Turd Mountain.
With a Triforce on. Why is there a Triforce in the mountain?
Ugh, what a poor substitute for Candyland greatness. Now the second overlay to
Belted too many times with its ship posting.
work with the second
So
card
just Candyland.
is called Simon Says. The goal here is to have one person pick from the stack of Simon Says cards and tell the other player what they should be highlighting
Is a common
with the white
pattern.
ball on the screen.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay, Simon Says nose.
Sly Cooper or the Rhythm Gator. I beat that Gator. We'll probably be doing more Sly Cooper tomorrow or the night after.
Okay, now Simon Says
Triangle. Alright. I think that triangle pattern's also the family logo for a wealthy Japanese family.
Alright, now Simon says, penis?
What the fuck? Packing groceries, my nigga.
Okay, now Simon says, masturbation hand.
What the fuck?
What the hell's up with these cards? Alright, now Simon says,
Yeah. Take that dick. Take that dick.
I think we're done here.
Hey, Square Lukester. Yeah, I had a pretty good one.
So skipping ahead to card number 3, we come to the hockey overlay. In this game, both players
What the fuck should be a sound drop?
start off in the center of the screen and try their best to score a point by hitting the ball
What
into the
the-
other player's goal. Well, this is just stupid since the ball almost always flies off the screen after being hit. God, this game is terrible. Now,
I like how the ball at physics actually look like it's sliding on ice.
the last overlay for card 2 is called Analogic. This is a
The logic of your anus?
game that takes place in outer space. Now, each player starts off from either planet and tries their best to reach the other planet before the other player does. But the only way to move around the screen, however, is by using math equations. So, where the hell's the fun in that? If I wanted a math lesson, I'd ask for one. Let's just
I'd rather play Donkey Kong Jr. math.
go ahead and check out the fourth card. The first overlay we have is a cat and mouse chasing game. The goal here is to designate one of the squares off to the side as your mouse hole, and the player playing as the mouse must try to reach it before the other player playing as the cat can get to you. Now, if this sounds as stupid as I'm describing it, that's because it is, and it just plain sucks.
I mean, it is a primitive game.
Now, the second overlay to work with the fourth card
Take that dick rhythm boss fight.
sucks even more, since you not only have to chase the other player around a haunted mansion, but this game requires tons of rules and tons of flashcards, making this game tons of shit.
Tons of shit.
Moving on to the fifth card, we have a submarine overlay. The point in this
Looks, sounds like Pac-Man. Not as
game
good.
is to travel along the set
And this is
path
before
while avoiding the
Pac-Man.
missiles that can be shot by the second player. Now, this may sound pretty cool, but the game is so buggy that landing a successful shot is next to impossible. God, this game sucks. What an Asperger. So now we come to the last card. And the first overlay is called Roulette. The goal here is to place your bets on the roulette card and bet on where you think the ball will land.
You could just do that with an actual roulette wheel, and it'd probably be a lot better.
Once the bets are in, just press the reset button, and the ball will fly in from the right hand of the screen. Wherever it lands will be the winning number. Oh, what the hell? So what number is that supposed to be? Okay, let's try this again. Okay, so the ball is in the number 9 slot. Well, this would have been nice if the number was actually on the card.
Maybe it's number 6.
Now, the second game to work with card 6 is the States overlay, and it basically plays like the Simon Says game.
Well, there's Mimble the Elf.
Now, as the first player picks from a
Lamau.
stack of state cards, the second player highlights the state that's on the card. Okay, the first state we have is Ohio. Okay, the second state is New Hampshire.
All right.
Boy, talk about a waste of time.
Such a fascinating machine. Yes, it
It'd be
is.
a lot easier just to point to the states. Yeah, I thought so. This game just sucks. Well, that's the last game that was packaged with the Odyssey. But if those weren't enough to hold you over, Magnavox also made a few other
Ohio Skibby Dibby
you
Riz.
could purchase separately. Later on, Magnavox released cards number 7 and number 8. And
Has the luck of having her birthday on the 5th. We just celebrated with barbecue, fireworks, and ice cream cake. Ooh.
each of these came with overlays of their own. Magnavox also released cards 9 and 10, and these were only useful if you had purchased the special light rifle accessory.
Fun fact about that light rifle, Nintendo developed that light rifle. That's a Nintendo product. They before they got into the gaming industry, they had some games out, arcade games. High technology from the 1970s, I presume. Yeah, it's a light gun. So good, it really does. Cook steak and brew. Ooh. But yeah, they had 2 arcade games out in the 60s, Wild Gunman and Duck Hunt. Those NES games are actually arcade ports. Talking about the console.
That was sold separately from the Odyssey.
Part 2B, the review of the light rifle. Oh no. Part 2B. He had to split it up. It was too much for one video.
Later on, Magnavox released cards number 7.
Might as well play board games at that point. This is a vanity purchase. Yeah, it's like Master Shake said. If I wanted to play Tetris, I'd draw it on a paper and animate it. You could just have fun playing with fucking sticks and rocks. This is like the caveman equivalent to a video game.
And number 8. And each of these came with overlays of their own. Magnavox also released
Game Cart 4 for the Odyssey. Yeah. Well, what's your favorite game, like, growing up? Wrecking Crew, Castlevania, Game Cart number 4?
cards 9 and 10. And these were only useful if you had purchased the special light rifle accessory that was sold separately from the Odyssey. Now today, these rifles are very rare, very costly, and super hard to find. One would probably have to sell their soul just to even get their hands on one.
Well, it would seem I finally have.
A very expensive vanity purchase, yeah.
I will gladly sell you a light rifle for your soul.
Sorry, Satan. I actually already have one.
Not today, Satan.
What? Well, motherfucker!
You can tell that was made back in the 70s. It's a fucking rifle. There's no orange tip on it. It's not colored funny colors. Like, look at that. Look at the light rifle and then compare it to the fucking Zapper that Nintendo released. Make Boar's AI shitpost videos? Alright.
Okay, so let's go ahead and check out the light rifle.
Boar Zappers were made by Nintendo. That gun was made by Nintendo. That is a Nintendo product he is holding. Magnavox went to Nintendo to make that product.
To use this accessory, you have to plug in the light rifle into the Odyssey, insert card number.
The original Zappers were gray. Yes, they were. I had an original Zapper. We're always the beginning of the end of these types of channels. This man's still going strong. RTX Series 40? Maybe. Bajou Wario's in hell, Nick Ricada is cursed, and Dr. No Respect is a diddler. Dr. No Respect, that's a good one.
Cock the handle, aim at the white block, and fire. It's that simple. Now the gun has a light sensor inside of it, and the rifle responds only when the sensor is lit.
Company Man video on Magnavox. It'll probably drop in price.
Perfectly with the bright white area of the screen.
Yeah, it's how the light gun works. Literally the same technology that was used for the Zapper to play games like Duck Hunt and Wild Gunman. Literally the fucking same technology. I get no respect, I tell you. YouTube really wants me to watch Rodney Dangerfield stand up because it keeps recommending me Rodney Dangerfield stand up. And I keep watching it because it's funny. Had to use gaming PC fund on a medical emergency.
The only drawback to this, however, is that it also reacts if you point it at any bright light found in the room.
That was actually a strat to playing Duck Hunt. You just pointed at the light bulb.
How stupid. So the first overlay we have for the rifle is called Prehistoric Safari. And as the first player uses the gun, the second player's job is to move the white blocker on the screen and place it into any of the bullseye areas.
Dangerfield is funny. YouTube has good taste. He is really funny.
Alright.
Tell you, no respect for my father. Me and him would go hunting. He'd give me a 3-minute start. He'd put the deer up into the car and have me on the roof.
Well, once you get bored of that game, it's on to the second overlay, which is called Shootout. And this overlay involves shooting cowboys in the Old West.
I got a decent amount saved.
Well, looks like today we're going to have ourselves a little gunslinging.
He really was funny and a natural born kid. Oh, he was in that movie. That was so weird. He was like an abusive dad. It was so fucking bizarre. I like to imagine that's Mr. Burns' son. YouTube, I get no respect. That's what Dangerfield would say. Probably by not spending shit. That's a copyright strike. Top of the line PC for about $2,000. Damn. No physical game copy, but a digital PSN code, right? No. Fuck with credit cards. This is a good ass movie. It's a pretty good movie. Yeah, I like Natural Born Killers. I haven't bought a limited run game in like years. The last one I got was Bill and Ted. Still can't believe I wasted $30 fucking on Bill and Ted. Future-proof that shit, yeah. Buy that LGR Deluxe Edition of Clock Tower. I did not buy that. It was $26, Gassia, stop. Clock Tower by Way Forward, limited run, Sunsoft, Capcom. It was probably stock, they couldn't...
Next, we have a game called Dogfight. And the goal here is to shoot Nazi aircrafts out of the sky as they fly along the set path on the screen.
12 terabyte drive, nice. D on a CDR that pisses on Kenji's grave. $4 make all the difference. They did. I was able to buy a soda with that $4. My $4, Goy. If I don't have that $8, I'm in the poorhouse. I need that $12 right now. Cat piss only fans. Dudes will look at that and go, hell yeah. That is pretty cool. Very unfortunate last name he has. Boars.
So at last we come to card number 10.
Whose last name is gay.
And with it we get our last overlay called Shooting Gallery.
Doesn't make someone high like South. No, it doesn't. I don't think so.
Now, if you thought I saved the best for
Cheesing.
last, prepare to be disappointed, since this game ends up being just a cheap-ass attempt to simulate...
He got teased in school for... Yeah. For a good mid-range build, which you can upgrade in the future. Oh, wow.
Targets, like the ones found
$1 grand. For a game console was the Vectrex. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Get on that front and read your report. Full bore shotgun.
Boy, this one just sucks. Now, the major downside to all four of these games is that a second player must be controlling...
Smart-ass kid yawns when he talks. Beats buying new consoles every few... Yeah, true.
Times. And this is a concept that gets very boring very fast. Well, that's pretty much the last game for the Odyssey. So, nothing left to do.
There was supposed to be another Odyssey game, but it never came out. Actually, there were supposed to be a few Odyssey games that never came out, but the console has the programming in it for them.
Do now, but turn the Odyssey off.
And this is the part where the Odyssey turns evil and he has to do an epic battle with it.
What?
What the hell? They're like your typical Carnival Funhouse game at home. The Odyssey 2 is a good successor. Ooh.
Ow, what the hell?
What the hell?
I'm sorry, Dave.
Was better than the 2600. Wow.
I cannot let you do that. Damn it, Hal, what do you think you're doing?
Since high school, I've only upgraded the storage. Damn.
Termination of this unit is unacceptable.
Super Insert High School RPG Edition.
You'll discontinue your course of action. But Hal, the review is over.
Really need to buy the Switch 2 Limited Edition Ogre Green console. SATA SDD. Ooh. Better than Pac-Man port, that's for sure. That 2600 port of Pac-Man was fucking dog shit.
Over. This isn't open for
M2
discussion.
slot.
I'm sorry, but I don't think so. I will not be turned off.
Can't say the high school that starts with a C. You really can't? Man, YouTube sucks. Read write speeds. YouTube has that censored.
Now, Hal?
Ow.
What the? Mother!
He got smacked with a rifle.
Immediately.
He smacks him with the rifle, but he doesn't try to shoot it at him. You guys remember, it was at Halloween 4? There's a scene where Michael Myers picks up a shotgun, and instead of shooting it at someone, he impales somebody in the wall, into the wall with it. He's right.
The view is over when I say it's over.
I just tried. Yeah, YouTube is really censor happy.
Are you overgrown piece of junk? You messed with the wrong gamer, pal.
Instantly Nuki. Nintendo cartridges with fast loading and read and write speeds. Ooh. You can spell it out like that. From Colorado. It's a very high income area.
Well,
there you go, Richard.
Bitch.
Come on, get it out of there. You really gotta jiggle it out.
No, stop it.
Super Columbia RPG. That'd be interesting. It'd be about making coffee. Joe from GameSack is from Colorado, and look, turned out for him. Hey, Joe's pretty cool.
No, Dave. What have you done?
The Aurora shooter.
So, anyways.
Fantasize Eric and Dylan are legit nutcases. Yeah, they're fucked. They're fucked in the head.
After the Magnavox Odyssey was released, it ended up selling rather poorly. And one of the main reasons was because of the advertising. In every single ad, the Odyssey was shown being played on a Magnavox TV. And this misled a lot of people into thinking that the system only worked on Magnavox televisions.
That's interesting.
The second reason was that this
To train your stats for the big day, better start grinding at the gun range. Oh,
primitive
God.
system was priced way too high. Ralph Baer once stated that he was looking to sell it for only $20.
$20 would be a good price for a console like that in the 70s. Edgelord teenagers and obsessed with Vader, Zim, and Korn. Is that breed of person still around?
Magnavox ended up selling it for $100.
Hybristophilia. $20 is
Aside from these
$20.
setbacks, Magnavox was about to face another problem, because a few weeks before the console was officially released, Nolan Bushnell was back with a brand new game that ended up taking the country by storm, and it was far superior to anything that the Odyssey could deliver. Coming up next, Pong.
Oh, we're gonna do Pong consoles, which is what the AVGN did. Well, that was great, Mr. Vids. Alright, I'm gonna grab some water. I'll be right back. Ugh. Going to do a bump of Coke. Final Fantasy 13 brand new, still regretted. I could have bought Subway with that. Super C. Playing the Final Fantasy 14 expansion. Good old member berries. YouTube link for Boogie to access later, saying it was my channel. It was actually a link to load to your God's roast the Boogie. That's good. Just skip this part. Part 3.
By 1972, Nolan Bushnell was met with the failure of his first arcade game, Computer Space.
Burdot, and that made my sister quit Final Fantasy. Could have bought Dark Souls. Final Fantasy 13 is so fucking bad. Holy shit.
But he wasn't about to let this minor setback stand in his way, because the next thing he did
fucking
was start a
handkerchief.
company. And after turning to the Japanese language for a company name, he ended up finding the perfect word, Atari.
Is that why the Atari logo looks like Mount Fuji?
The next thing
I got an
was
autograph.
purchase a few
Nice.
cheap pinball machines and started a pinball route around town in order to get some income rolling in for the company.
Review Tech USA is a disgusting pig. I am so glad more people are fucking with Review Tech USA.
Then, as fate would have it, in May of
Who unironically defend Final Fantasy 13. Surreal. That game is fucking dog shit.
1972, Magnavox held a private demonstration of the Magnavox Odyssey, and it's alleged by a few
Streaming to take care of his own child.
eyewitnesses that Nolan
Sometimes.
Bushnell was in the
I
audience.
used to watch the casino every week, but now I only watch it like once in a while.
It's not clear if he was
I don't watch it on their main channel. I just watch it when like Alessa Clips plays it because she doesn't censor the clips. Completely mask. Destiny, Hassan, Monday, Matt, and every fucking bread tuber after the debate.
actually in the building that day. But if he was, then this would have been the inspiration that set off a chain of events that would forever change history. Shortly thereafter, Nolan gave the engineer of his company, Al Acorn, the mission of building a game off the idea.
Al
he had.
Acorn? My guy's named after a cartoon squirrel. Tardsky's voice physically hurts. Let's fucking go! Fuck yeah!
And he wanted it to consist of two things.
Ashton!
Ball,
Ashton!
paddles, and a scoring system. Al not only created Nolan's
Andy isn't that bad.
game, but also added in a few enhancements to make the gameplay more interesting. For example, the longer you play the game, the faster the ball starts moving.
Medic or masochist for $5,000! Let's fucking go!
And you can bounce it off the sidewalls,
That hurts.
as well as alter the return trajectory of the ball.
Whoa, body!
With
Whoa,
these enhancements
fucking
in place,
body!
Pong was born. Yeah! Alright!
Flubber. Pah! Kirby.
In your face, player 2!
His Neanderthal brain for words every single time he opens his man pleaser.
In order to gauge public reaction, Nolan placed the new game in a bar along his pinball route called Handicaps.
I wonder if that bar is still around.
A few days later, the owner of the bar called them up and informed them that the machine had stopped working. After inspecting the machine, however, they quickly found out that the problem wasn't with the game itself, but actually the problem lied with all the quarters clogging up the insides of the
Tardsky apologist, I think people are too hard on him. Knew a guy who made Handicap? Wow.
machine.
Hold up a second. I gotta blow my fucking nose. I think I popped my ear. Woo! I can breathe again. Spicy food help? I love spicy food. How many people has he snaked over the years? Oh, wow. Too stupid to
So now it
snake
was official.
anyone.
Pong was a
Careful,
hit.
Joey.
In the next few months, Atari had orders coming in.
Fun fact, Taito, the people that made Space Invaders, when they made Space Invaders and put it in the arcades, the Japanese, Japan actually ended up getting a shortage of 100 yen because people kept putting the 100 yen to play. It's enough to indicate a pattern. Internet blood sports were quick. Yeah, they were. That's what killed Internet blood sports. Afrin, shit worked real quick. Want to give Afrin a try? I used to have that Mega Man 3 poster. It's a pretty cool poster. Die in Eastleb or do it enough to be a lolcow. Yeah.
All over the country. And just to show you how popular Pong was, check this out. Popular games usually generated over
Girlfriend legitimately looks like she has seen some shit. She had tattoos on her arm that look like shit from the Cube movie. Well, remember, a prostitute quit her job after being paid by Boogie to have sex with him. And Boogie took her to, like, Disneyland. You can tell a lot about her woman by her tattoos. Yeah. Like, Boogie took this prostitute to fucking Disneyland and took her to, like, a nice 5-star restaurant. And she quit afterwards.
$40 a week. But Pong was generating over 5 times that amount. and raking in at over $200 a week.
Wow.
But as soon as Pong became popular, another problem was about to hit Atari. Copycats. Within weeks,
Imagine,
dozens of other companies started.
I have to give credit to Worski. I enjoy telling Channel Autism fans that Dark Fist did everything kick-assia. Suburban Night. Oh my god. PPP actually, friend tried to get PPP and Andy to snake each other. Times they could have, yeah. So fat you make a salute stop. Andy owns PPP. Hey, Collect the G.
Copying the exact
I don't think he makes it up to the Intellivision. I don't think he makes it to the ColecoVision.
same.
Taking a hooker to Disneyland. The baby, Andy. Andy, the fucking baby. We gotta do this for the fucking baby, motherfucker. I don't want to. One of the companies is named Nutting. I just realized that. The bottom company is named Nutting.
Game.
Williams? Yes, they did. Yeah, they really did.
And selling their own Pong machines. By mid-74, listen.
That's actually what... I hope you'll stream those prank videos. Yeah, I gotta do that. Nutting. That's actually what killed the pinball arcade game. Was, I think, Gottlieb and Williams took their pinball machines out of the game. Jackoff Enterprises. And gave it to Pinball FX. Which sucks, because I really liked Pinball Arcade, and I still play it.
Of all the Pong machines that existed were actually made by Atari. In the following months, Atari continued to expand their operation by releasing slightly altered versions of Pong, and they started releasing them more quickly in order to out-innovate the company.
There's a man named Jack Goff. Andy, apologist until I see evidence. Yeah. D's Nuts Gaming. We will defend ourselves.
These included Pin Pong, Pong Doubles, Quadra Pong, as well as a few others.
Super Pong.
But Nolan kept looking for the
huge ass
big idea, and it wasn't long before he began asking his staff, what else can we do with a video game?
George Floyd Gaming.
Atari
game show contestant named Robert Fagot
finally answered his question by releasing their second unique arcade game, Space Race.
Space Race not being in the fucking Atari 50 collection really sucks. They're actually Pong Wong Dong Song. They're actually going to make a update to Atari 50 that adds in 40 new games. Ivana Tinkle. So I hope that Space Race is on there. Designed ET 2600 at Southeast. You met Howard Scott Warshaw? Executive producer Dick Wolf. Nick Kerr is a real name. Put up next to Boogie's depressing.
Breaking away from the Pong formula, this game
Sadie Edwards
consists of two spaceships placed at the bottom of the screen.
Why does he have a fucking irate gamer symbol on the bottom corner like a thumbnail?
And the goal
a watermark
is to reach the top before the other player does. And you must do this while dodging obstacles like meteors,
hard dicks and cider,
and Imperial TIE fighters? Ah, crap. Even though Space Race was a step in the right direction, the public response towards this game was lukewarm at best, and it performed rather poorly. A few months later, Atari released a third game called Gotcha.
That'd be another... Oh my god. Are we just doing silly names? Hey, would you blow me? Yeah, that's another game they should put in the Atari 50 collection. They're updating it. They're going to put 40 more games in there. Oh my god, my voice cracked. 40 more games in there. 20 of them are going to be in television games. My crotch burns. So hopefully the other 19 or 20 are going to be like arcade games they didn't put in there. Jaguar games. They have the rights to Bubsy. Put Fractured Furry Tales in there. Shit.
This two-player game is based on the concept of one player trying to catch the other while running around a maze that's constantly changing. But watch out, because these changes can help you escape or be your downfall in getting caught. Oh, man.
Yes, they are. Later this year. It's 40 more games. I actually just got the unlocked all the secret games. Alpha Kenny one. Doesn't expect your voice to crack. Filed. That's a real name, too. Yeah, I unlocked all the secret games in Atari 50, so I have the complete roster until later this year.
Oh, this game sucks.
Maya Cockburn.
Sadly, this game never became a hit with the public, but there was, however, some controversy surrounding it. The first production run of the Gotcha arcade cabinets were made with these two pink rubber mounds for controls, and people immediately started calling this the boob game.
The boob game. Chaim Shekel Grubber.
Since they resembled two large breasts.
Yeah, they put titties on the fucking game. Sweet Baby Inc. Dragon Quest thing. Oh, is that like, yeah, Type 1 and Type 2 instead of male and female? That is so stupid.
After that, Atari then changed the controls to joysticks. But I think I'll just stick with the version with the rubber mounts.
That's a
that
nipple.
wasn't enough to make you wonder
Jack
about
me
this game.
off.
Just check out the
Me
promotion
off.
flyer. I'm not sure what the hell is going on in this picture, but there are definitely some shenanigans afoot.
It's worse. Ren too high. Birthing type. Evolved Dragon Quest. Yeah, that's real bad. I'll wait. I was actually excited for Dragon Quest 3 too. I was gonna buy that, but yeah, I guess I'll wait. Just need to get with the time, my fellow Type 1s. Akira Toriyama's art. Oh, that's fucked. Jover, boys.
Atari's next arcade game was called Rebound.
Have my stance on new games dog shit until proven otherwise. Yeah, I'll just wait for the game to go on sale then. Or they'll put it on like PlayStation Plus or Game Pass. They put that Nickelodeon fighting game on Game Pass and I played it. Now DQ3 gets it. It's the way to go these days, yeah.
And this was a Pong-like game that had the player's paddles placed along the bottom of the screen. The point here is to keep the ball from falling off your side of the screen. If you fail...
There's still the defective version, it seems. I had Dragon Quest 3 for the Game Boy Color. That was a pretty good game.
The other
Definitive.
players then awarded...
Yeah, I was really excited about Dragon Quest 3 Remake, but I guess I'll just wait until it comes out and we'll see from there. He was made in God's image.
And if both players can keep the ball in play long enough, the middle divider will start increasing in height and raise the difficulty level. Ah, crap.
Crap.
But sadly, like the two games before it, Rebound still wasn't hitting...
Resident Evil Guide and your favorite game at a Southeast complete for about $980. Holy shit. Type B, that she has the extra rib. Yeah, how come I can't take the top off of Type B like I can Type A?
...a sweet spot with the public. So, it was back to the drawing board. The next game released in March of 1974 was called Grand Track 10. And to everyone's amazement, it became Atari's next big hit. In this game, the
Kind of looks like a basic racing. It looks like Indy 500 for the Atari.
player takes control of a race car, and your mission is to drive around the track as you race against the clock. Alright, let's do this.
What is this CGI from? I don't know. Oh, he actually filmed himself at an arcade. Although he's probably not playing that game. He's probably playing something else. Having sex if you look hard enough. Kinda does. Yeah, I see it. Playable and gone home. Oh god, that game sucked.
The last Atari game to be released in '74 was called Tank.
Oh, the arcade version of Combat. Sim Racing Wheel, lol.
This game consists of both...
Yeah, it's Combat. They actually made, for the Atari 50 collection, they made an updated version called Quadra Tank, which is alright.
Players taking control of tanks and driving around a battlefield in order
to unlock the fifth game, I had to take a missile and go all the way around an Atari logo. It was really hard to do.
to blow each other up. Oh, and
Yeah, it's
watch
Combat.
out for the landmines.
Combat?
Even though Tank had a very simple concept, it would become Atari's third popular game. By the time 1975 rolled around, video games were slowly catching on with the masses. Nolan, however, had even bigger plans in mind for his growing company, and was now ready to tackle the home consumer market. Coming
The
up
first
in the next
twin-stick
history of video
arcade
games,
game.
Atari does just that.
GOG ported over the original 3 classic Resident Evil games. They're actually good. Yeah, I saw that. So I guess we're doing... Let's see which one. No lazy ports. Amazing. Is it the Atari 2600? Or is it Atari versus Midway? 19 Atari Video Game Library from...
In 1978, the Atari
Nah, I don't think that is it. I gotta... Yeah, I saw that
For
too.
over 35 years, video game... We must go back to the golden age.
Atari 2600 VCS history? I think so. Saw that if he wasn't too busy wage slaving. Resident Evil 9, I'm assuming. Lady Double D's if they wanted to. Yeah. Hosted by Chris Bores. Part 6. No, I want part 4. Let's go to the P's, I guess. Empty to play the games with the seamless HD mods. Yeah, Empty needs to stream again. He hasn't streamed in a while. Huh. There it is. Will you be playing You're the New Empty? Do a quick impression. Regenerated due to what's its nuts? Yeah. Get to the P's. Need to organize all these videos. Yeah. History of video. There we go. Part 4.
During the first half of 1975, the video game maker Atari was busy cranking out more arcade games.
Empty say he got his big promotion, and that he said he'd be streaming more, but I haven't seen him.
Pursuit, Anti-Aircraft, and the sequel to the hit
Buck broken by Sphere Hunter, and he went berserk after being called a shill. Empty was lying again. Another Empty stream this year, hopefully. What game will I be playing? I want to beat Sly Cooper, so I'll probably beat that. And then we might do like a few one-off games like Felix the Cat. Needs Empty out of his cage first. So yeah, I might do Felix the Cat. We might do Sparkster. And then I'll pick another big game I want to stream.
tank game called...
You didn't do a Pepsi Man a couple days ago? Yeah, he said he was. His annual Pepsi 5th of July stream. Yeah. I have a copy of Avengers for PS5 I've been wanting to stream. I might do that, but that game's like 80 fucking gigs.
Tank 2. They even released a shark hunting game called Jaws in order to capitalize on the hit movie released around the
How did they not get sued for that?
same time. And here's a fast fact. Atari released the game under a pseudo company called...
Empty giving me a break so I can catch up with his work. Go easy on him, otherwise he'll take his ball and go home. This is Felix the Cat, stream crashes.
Horror games, and they did this just in case any legal troubles arose. After this game was released, however, it didn't take long for their competitors like PSE and Versus Billiards
Alright, that Man-Eater arcade cabinet looks really fucking cool.
to release their own shark hunting games, and both did poorly with consumers. But Atari kept cranking out fresh ideas, and their next game, released in October of '75, was a horse racing game called Steeplechase.
I didn't mean to buck break Empty that hard. Heather got spillied to the berg. He'll just project on Gaseous again. Yeah, Empty Hero needs to stream. Soy Jack Shark.
In this title, up to 6 players could compete in this game at the same time, while the 7th horse at the bottom of the screen was controlled by the computer. And the first horse to reach the end is declared the winner.
Firing my laser beam. I'm a firing my laser. Boo!
Alright, well, let's give this game a try.
Alright, I'm gonna get copyright struck for that. I'm not gay. I date fat black women and have sexual relations with truants. Well, that means you're gay. Hi-ho, Silver, away! I wonder how long it took him to fucking, like, edit this and do all the special effects on this and film it. This probably took a while. Racing the Catching Ghost, what a ride this guy has been. He actually filmed in a real arcade, too. That's pretty cool. Oh, it's just down to him and the other guy. He just used the green screen and added color correction. Yeah, true, but still. Probably took him a while.
The Atari company was becoming a well-oiled machine, and Nolan Bushnell's next big idea was to conquer
Still a
the
fair
home
bit, yeah.
consumer market. And he planned on...
Pudahar enjoys his life while it lasts. He had to wear the... Oh, yeah. White people always win. Yeah, Mudahar wore the Sonichu medallion. He's fucked.
doing that by creating a home version of Pong that would plug into any television set. The console that Atari ended up making was very simplistic in design and consisted of only 4 buttons: a player 1 knob, a player 2 knob, a power switch, and a reset button. Not
Just
only would you be
designated
able to-
gamers? I like to call him Pudahar, or Poo in the Ludahar. That is a very simple console. You can't even take the controllers off. Kersi Hamihad, not
The
yet.
exact same game found in the arcade, but this one was in color.
Allegations coming in a few months, calling it now.
Whoa, look at all those
Going to investigate the, yeah, he's gonna investigate it.
colors, man.
Pudahar is classic. Designated boyfriend for you, white girl. What a tard. He always played in that he understood his mean.
Far out. And of course, all you need to power the console is 4D batteries.
It's always D batteries. Didn't they have a fucking wall plug for that thing? Why batteries?
And, wait a minute. Replace batteries of play as erratic. So what the hell constitutes as erratic?
It's like baiting a crocodile with your junk. Yeah. Rallied against Dan. Yeah, I saw that. Jordan Peterson's daughter went nuts because someone was like, "Hey, why do so many Jewish people? Why are all these Jewish sites about fucking like? Why does a rabbi own Pornhub, and why does a Jewish person own Tinder and Bumble?" And then Michaela Peterson was like, "Fuck no." To ever fail. Muda, after he made videos about aliens and kept inviting Gamer from Mars to his shitty podcast. Yeah, I don't really want to watch Oy vey, no. I don't really care about his milquetoast takes. Supporting open borders and the extinction of Caucasians. Creepypasta videos back in the day, that was it. Yeah.
Well, guess it's time to change the batteries. After constructing
That is such a simple looking device. You can't even snap the controllers off and just play separately.
a working prototype of the home version,
You had to hover around that thing.
Atari met with the people at the Sears Corporation, and being very interested in the console,
Sears?
they ended up ordering 150,000 units to sell for the
Open
upcoming
borders for Israel. It's current year. Don't be a bigot. Exactly. It's a Gundam, Nux Taku, and Gamer for Mars in a podcast. No, thank you.
holiday season. And to everyone's amazement, they sold every single one. Now that Christmas really started off the era of home game video consoles, because the Magnavox Odyssey never really sold that well. But when Atari's home version of Pong was released, it was an instant hit.
Trying to bring back deep web browsing, but the magic is gone. Bet if you found out what Noel thinks about Etika. Well, Etika's black, or was black, and Null doesn't like black people, so... Commie Art Peterson has, like, one of those dudes who collects Nazi memorabilia and is just a fan of the era. Docks himself because of some thought.
But over the next few months,
breadtuber.
a huge Pong war was about to strike that no one could have imagined.
Was black. Well, he's not alive anymore.
After Atari released Pong, Magnavox was back with a brand new console called the Odyssey 100 to replace the original.
Huh.
This time around,
even Nintendo made a Pong console, although it was only released in Japan.
the controls were built
Went to white heaven, according to
on the
Joey.
machine itself. The bottom two moved the player around the screen, while the third would put spin on the ball after hitting it. Also on the
Did a Michael Jackson and become white. Kind of blend together. I didn't know It's a Gundam was a bread tuber.
console is a manual scoring system, since the actual game just didn't have one.
Used to be a shitty rock musician called New York Jaded Hearts. There's old music videos and they look awful. I gotta look them up now. Go to heaven and become white, then there's hope for you, Joey. Yay!
This Odyssey even had one unique offering that Atari's Pong didn't offer. That was a second game called Hockey. This game is just like Pong, but with more dividers to make it resemble a hockey rink. After only
Blend together quite literally,
a
yes.
few months, however,
Was the exact... Yeah, I thought he was. I don't think he's a bread tuber.
Magnavox was back yet again with the Odyssey 200. And this console added in two new...
It's a Gundam is a plague. Right-wing content. Yeah, he does like... He's one of those people that'll make like 50 videos about the latest woman that causes a controversy. Yellow Flash and quartering.
features
Oh, I gotta make 50 videos a week about Alyssa McCarthy or whatever the fuck. Grifters on YouTube are so tiresome. Yeah, I had to unsubscribe from fucking Chrissy Mayer because that's all her content is. Oh, this woman make a ruckus on Twitter and she did a stupid video. I'm gonna do 100 videos about her and do an impression of her. Like, no, ew, no. Hero he true
that the last
out.
one didn't have, like adding in extra paddles,
Boop.
and adding in a third game called Smash, where both players take turns
Gundam and an Amy buys Gundams all the
hitting a
time.
ball against the wall. Miss your
Wall
shot,
ball.
and the other player gets the point.
Here's your reminder that he abused Etika's mental breakdown for views and deleted them once he took the big leap. Showing off her big booba? Wow, I'm shocked. He's a major stalker. The only good and honest YouTuber is Joey JoJo. Thank you. Part of it is so... Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, just... It's the same fucking shit. These grifters never fucking learn. They constantly give these shitty people attention, and then the shitty people are like, I'm being harassed. Can we fuck the internet up even more? I'm not even gonna get into it.
A few months later, Atari fired back by releasing Super Pong.
Super.
And this version had a total of 4 different Pong games. There was Pong, Pong Doubles,
Doubles.
the Wall Pong,
Living off the wall.
and Reverse Pong, where the object
Asshole Pong.
of the game is to actually let your ball reach your side of the screen.
That's pretty cool.
After Super Pong was released, Magnavox
That doesn't even look like a video game console. It looks like something you use for like recording audio.
then fired back with the Odyssey 300. And this version simplified the controls to a single knob, as well as finally adding in a scoring system.
Wow.
They also added a button to control the ball speed. There's slow, normal, and super fast.
Super fast.
Alright, this is just ridiculous. Who the hell's gonna play the game like this?
Yellow Flash dude sounds like he's drunk every time he talks. I don't watch Culture War YouTubers. I tried to watch the Critical Drinker, and his videos are just awful. So I'm watching the new Star Wars series, and it's not well written. I can't do his voice really good. That's all. Go away now.
Well, as long as we're getting stupid here, why don't we just add in a horse racing mode?
I think the video I tried to watch was him talking about fucking the Leftoid. I hope you know that. Is he really? I tried watching a video where he was talking about Snow White, the one with the brown Snow White, and he was comparing it to the shitty Daily Wire Snow White movie. Friends with Mahler. Huh. And I was like, this sucks. This guy's literally just shilling this awful movie. Chud Logic. Coal Black. I noticed, like, a lot of... Fuck, I forgot what I was going to say. My brain literally went blank. It was going to be something about, like, fucking grifter YouTubers making 20 videos a day about Rachel Zegler. But they don't do that anymore because she doesn't do anything anymore. Like, is that movie even coming out still? They tried to turn her into the next Brie Larson, and she didn't do anything else. Daily Wire movie, since it looks like complete ass. Unironically funny, though. I wish she made more reviews. Yeah. His Life is Strange videos are fucking good. All of the grifter channels seethe. I've never watched Synthetic Man.
After the release of the 300, Magnavox finally had a decent Pong machine going for them, even though it did only take them 3 tries to get it right. But in a move that could be only described as ridiculous, they released yet again 2 more Odyssey consoles that exact same year.
You think that's enough?
The 400...
Our cargo cult, basically. All I know is they made one movie with Gina Carano, and that's it. And they made like a fucking Snow White movie starring Brett Cooper. Brett Cooper is so fucking ugly. Brett Cooper looks like a fucking man. That is not an attractive woman. It literally looks like Ben Shapiro in drag.
Which would return the console
simply because he was the only YouTuber who made negative reviews of Fallout. Yeah, that was a fucking funny video. In the rear view mirror makes me sad. Yeah, Internet Blood Sports is so fun. Shouldn't have big boobies, Joey. I miss the days of like watching Baked Alaska's fucking Blood Sports streams. Richard. The morning Kumite. When the Kill stream was on YouTube. Had the best ending I've ever seen in a video. Remember, PewDiePie shared that video to a lot of people, too. The Steven Universe one was great. Really makes you wonder why they never translate that guy's speeches.
Back to the 3 buttons.
Far Cry 6 review was fantastic, but a lot of times he just feign outrage. State-enforced homosexuality. The Morningwood Kumati
system. And the 500, which now included...
Anime Mafia shout-out. Starts reminiscing about Baked Alaska Take No Gas. Still hits me in the feels. Same here, Gaseous.
The 4th game, and colorized backgrounds.
Look at the little tennis characters.
I'm not sure why the hell Magnavox even released so many Pong
Fears
consoles.
the Onion Mafia. Well, David Stay is not alive anymore.
Sounds, because by year's end, there were almost 75 other companies.
Holy shit! And another one! And another one! There are like 9 million fucking Pong consoles!
Flooding the market with their own Pong consoles. Wow, that's a lot of fucking Pong. Yes,
Mahler and his
Pong
furry
was
friends
everywhere.
were Daddy
Out
of
all
War,
the dozens of
Ragnarok
new
was Sweet
contenders,
Baby
only
Incarnate.
one of them managed to make a name for themselves. And that company
Pull a knife
was
on me on
Coleco
stream.
with their Telstar. Now, upon actually playing this machine, one would be able to point out pretty quickly that the Telstar
Get Joey to think
is
about
eerily
it.
similar to the
Complete
Odyssey
Pong
300.
saturation.
Both consoles contain the exact same games, same visuals, and the same controls. Very suspect. But
Sus.
despite those similar drawbacks, there was one thing that Coleco had going for them that no one else did. They retailed their machine for a measly $50. And with that one...
$50? That's a lot in the 70s. Holy shit.
This console ended up dominating sales charts nationwide.
I heard you like Pong.
Atari had indeed opened Pandora's box. And not only were they fighting to stay on top in the Pong war, but they soon ran up against some stiff competition in the arcade world as well. Other companies like Gremlin, Taito, and Sega were all trying to break into the arcade market.
Sega made a Fonz game? What the fuck? That's what it's like with Resident Evil 5. It aged so well. Resident Evil 5's alright. My only issue is there's a lot of areas that just don't feel like a horror game, but I like it. Chris. Sega made a fucking Fonz game? Hey.
That year.
I owned that Fonzie arcade cabinet when I was young. That is fucking awesome.
But one game released in January of '76 almost destroyed the small foothold that video games
It's fun,
had
but
fought
it's
so
just
very
not
hard to
scary.
establish.
It was boring as fuck. It's the best game to play during February. All of Africa is a horror game, Joey.
A new company called Exidy released a game in 1975 called Destruction Derby. The goal here is to drive around and smash into as many cars as possible.
Sub-Zero 14 to carry you again, Joey? Come on! He's like tossing eggs at me. Dude, what the fuck?
A follow-up game released a year later called Death Race would replace those other cars with stick figures, and after running them over, the player would hear this gruesome sound.
Exidy made a game called Chiller, which I played a lot as a teenager. I played that on the NES. It was a very funny freak out you had. Wow, that's horrifying.
Holy crap. Shortly after this game was released, Death Race quickly came under fire by news outlets everywhere and became a huge topic of debate of the violence found in
Machine Gun Joe, loved by thousands and hated by millions. I don't own the unlicensed NES cart, but I played a ROM of it. It was alright. It's amazing, like, how tame this game looks. Like, compare this to, like, fucking Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat 1. Violence in video games. And then compare that to the shit we have now.
this game. Doing something like this in a video game at the time wasn't heard of. But in a surprising outcome, the controversy
made you feel like
had a
shit for
complete
playing it.
opposite reaction
Yeah.
to this title. And Exidy went from selling only 200 units of this cabinet to just over 1,000.
Any publicity is good publicity. I like how Berserk looks. It's like a schizo Pac-Man.
Although Exidy had earned their
Got an unlicensed NES port by the... Ooh, I need to look into that.
15 minutes of fame, it was actually Midway Games that ended up becoming a force to be reckoned with later that year. Their first game to become a hit,
We Live it doesn't have Primal Rage 2. That sucks. ESL? I don't know what that is. Carmageddon. Carmageddon's alright. Not the N64 port. Man, I rented the N64 port of Carmageddon. That game blows. Primal Rage 2 was leaked. You could play as people.
was called Gunfight. In this
English second language. Oh.
cowboy shoot-'em-up game, your job is to shoot the other player while dodging things like
That looks like Sheriff by Nintendo.
cactus, stagecoaches, trees, and the occasional stampede.
Ah. 2D version of Bloody Roar. That's, yeah, basically. It really sucks they can't re-release Primal Rage 1 because there's something with the coding of the arcade game that unless you actually play it in the arcade, it'll just be fucked up and weird. Even the Midway Arcade Treasures port of Primal Rage is fucked up. But it isn't the real game.
Oh, brother. And here's another fast fact. Gunfight was actually the first game to be built with a microprocessor, and this was done to handle all the complex graphics happening on the screen.
Complex graphics.
In March of 1976, Midway had their
The code is lost.
second popular game called Seawolf. This submarine title requires you to sink as many submarines as you can in the time allotted. The catch, however, is that the player must play by looking through a periscope attached to the front of the cabinet.
That's pretty cool.
At the time, this concept was very unique, and it helped to turn this game into a popular one. Midway Games was slowly gaining ground in the
Dick Wolf.
arcade world, but Atari was still on top throughout 1976.
Night Driver
One
and
title
Stunt
that made
Cycle.
an impact that year was a game called Breakout.
Oh shit, that's also in the Atari 50 collection.
This was another Pong-like game, but turned on its side, so the ball would knock out the blocks,
Honestly, Breakout's fun, but Arkanoid's better. I like the power-ups.
resting high above. Simple concept, yes, but very addictive. And interestingly enough, the game itself was actually engineered by a guy by the name of Steve Jobs, who later went on to become the co-founder
Oh yeah, Atari 50 says that. Yeah, it wasn't just Jobs that programmed that game. I think Wozniak worked on it too.
of Apple. Awesome. By the end of 1976, video games were slowly losing their appeal with consumers. Between being ponged to death and seeing the countless rehash of old ideas
Was included in Die Hard Arcade on the Saturn. That's awesome.
being recycled over and over again, everything started to look very stale and repetitive.
Yep, stale and repetitive.
If video game makers wanted to keep consumers playing, then they would have to come up with some major innovations. Coming up in Part 5, the video game world has changed forever.
Talks about the Atari, which is up here. I really gotta organize this shit. Fox Odyssey. Stale and repetitive, kind of like now. Yeah. $2,600 VCS.
For over 35 saga, we must go back to the golden age of video gaming.
It really sucks he didn't, like, finish this. Call Gaseous the N-word? No.
In the fall of 1977, the video game market was in the middle of its first real video game crash. The arcade scene was filled with a rehash of old video game ideas, and the home consumer market was drowning in a sea of Pong consoles.
Manwa.
By October 1977, Atari had been sold to Warner Communications, who are now calling the shots for Atari.
Oh, I didn't know Warner Brothers owned Atari at one point. They owned
By
Midway.
thinking outside the box, they introduced a brand new home console for the holiday season that would challenge everything that was currently on the market, the Atari VCS. The major innovation used here was the interchangeable cartridge system idea that was introduced with the Fairchild F. By using this, Atari knew this feature would extend the life.
Discovery ruined Mortal Kombat. Yes, they did. I deleted Mortal Kombat 1 off my fucking... Richard can't keep edging forever. I deleted Mortal Kombat 1 off my fucking console. Like, you know, Homelander came out. I played as Homelander. He was fun, but, like, I just don't care to play it after that. Like, I'm done.
Since players could insert a new game anytime they got
MK1.
tired of the old one. With this new console
500.
came newly designed controllers that included a joystick and a single action button.
That controller is so cool, but it's, like, so basic.
Alright, let's just see what this action button
My Invincible and the boys, Joey. Homelander was cool. I liked playing as him, but yeah, I don't really care to play the game anymore.
does.
And the story mode sucked. The story was awful.
The hellfire in the hole! Also included were switches that controlled the color, a game select button, the difficulty, and last but not least, a reset button. A reset button. A reset button.
Mixed nude faces.
A reset button. A reset. On October 1st, 1977, the Atari was released for $199.99.
$200. Wow, that was a lot back then.
Here's a fast fact. Atari made no money off the
He pulled a Ricada.
console itself. In fact, they overpriced the game cartridges in order to turn a profit since they only cost $2 to make. Early game cartridges were also numbered and color-coded to signify the genre of the
Basic math. Do not come. Do not come. Vice President Kamala Harris.
game it
Combat.
belonged
Combat was the first game for the Atari.
to, but that was quickly phased out as more games were released. During the launch window, Atari had 9 games to choose from. And the first of these was the arcade version of Tank, but scaled down so that it could fit inside this small cartridge.
Wrestle in WWF as the Ugandan headhunter.
In Combat, this game came packaged along with the Atari.
Cool rainbow
By pressing
colors
the
of the
game's
early Atari boxes. Yeah, they look nice.
Select button, you'll be able to cycle through a bunch of game boards to choose from. Master them all,
Combat?
and you could just find yourself in the Combat Hall of Fame. If one actually existed.
I was playing Combat the other day. It was pretty
You're
fun.
not just limited to playing as tanks either. You could play as an airplane, a jet, or a whole fleet of jets.
That's pretty cool. They made a Combat 2, but it was never released until Atari 50.
Bow before the might of 3 of us at once! Of course, flying 3 planes at once does make you a bigger target.
VHS in my collection that's printed on it. They're retail over $89.85 in 80s. Holy shit. Almost Idiocracy was a documentary. Yeah, truly.
bozos let me down for the last time. Why, I gotta... Hey, leave him alone. Quiet, you.
Did he Three Stooge himself?
The second game released was also a ported arcade title.
Welcome to Costco. I love you. They don't call it Indy 500 in the Atari 50 collection. It's called Race 500.
Called Indy 500. And for this game, we're going to need the second paddle controller. This game has tons of different tracks.
And yeah, it's really hard to play that game on Atari 50 because I don't have the fucking paddle controllers, and it's really hard to replicate that on a fucking PlayStation pad.
And the point is to drive around the track faster than the other player can. Well, if you can get the controls to work properly for once.
Did he just phase through the fucking wall?
What the hell? Who the hell's driving this car? Oh, yes.
Let me drive my car.
The third game was, of course, a home console staple, Pong. But just to trick everyone into buying the game, this cartridge was called Video Olympics.
Huh.
Alright, an Olympics game. Let's check this out. Pong!
Oh no, that's not on the Atari collection.
Yep, there's no pole vaulting in this game. Instead, you'll find every single variation of the game Pong ever imagined under the hood of this cartridge. One-player Pong, two-player Pong, four-player Pong, off-the-wall Pong, soccer Pong, foosball Pong, goalie Pong, Genghis Pong, inverted Pong,
Genghis Pong,
King Kong Pong, rebound Pong, Hong Pong Fooey. Yep, it's a frickin' Pong-a-palooza. The
knocked that out of his
was
hand.
Another racing game called Street Racer. In this game, your car remains stationary, but the other cars will either zoom past you, or you can press the action button.
Made a Doom commercial in 1995 wearing a trench coat for some reason. Yeah, I saw that. What the
and zoom
fuck?
Past them at breakneck speeds. Let's try this again.
Fun fact, people thought Microsoft was going to buy the rights to Doom. Instead, it was made just as a port of Doom for Windows. Now Microsoft has the rights to Doom. Did you guys see the new Doom game? It looks fucking awesome. That shield, it's like a shield chain. Ow.
Ah, Magoo, you've done it again. And when you're tired of doing that,
I guess.
you can also play as a jet, a car, and whatever the hell this thing is.
What the fuck? Coom Dork Age.
Just forget it.
The shield weapon, yeah, it is
This
badass.
game here is called Air-Sea Battle, and it's another two-player
It actually looks badass, yeah. That's actually on the Atari 50 collection. That's a really good game.
that requires you to move your gun turret around and clear the board of multiple rows of targets moving along at various speeds. Hit the game select button, and you'll bring up different screens, different enemies, and even a
I guess.
stage with movable gun turrets. Oh, hello.
Damn! Shittins of wads and custom stuff, enough to have dedicated YouTube channels for them. Yeah, it's something, when I get my computer shit sorted out, I want to do like Doom wads. There's a lot of Doom wads I want to play. And stuff like Chex Quest.
Stupid guns.
You know, someone made a new version of Chex Quest and you could play it on the Switch?
The
I have
sixth
it.
game, Starship,
It's like Chex Quest in proper 3D.
allows us to fly around in space, shooting things like flying saucers, aliens,
Phew.
asteroids, and even Klingon warbirds of prey?
H-Doom? Maybe.
Well, no matter. Fire at will, Mr. Spock.
The Vox. The Vooks.
And rounding out the last of these three titles
So
is a
over.
game named Jack Black. Oops, I mean Blackjack. Basic
Basic Math. Basic Math was an unlockable game in Atari 50.
math. Really? The answer is
Moon
six.
Man Doom. Yeah, I gotta play that one.
Oh, shut up. And the game Surround, in which players maneuver a dot around the screen.
Oh, it's like the Tron thing with the light
leaving a trail
cycles. That's pretty
behind it
cool.
that is difficult
Sad fucking shill for Biden. I saw that.
upon touch. All right, Blue, prepare to meet
You need to play Basic Mouth. You need to stop doing shit for that retard.
your maker. Not so fast, Green.
He's like, rock and roll, man. He's so sharp. Deleted.
Ah, almost gotcha.
Basic math. I can do that on stream. We can always do Atari 50.
Going down.
I have a game collection on my PS5 called the Jeff Minter Collection that I want to play. It's interesting. Do you guys like Commodore 64 and VIC-20 games about fucking camels?
Yes! Woo!
1, 2, 3s. 1 plus 1 equals 3, right?
During the holiday season of 1977, Atari had sold 250,000 consoles, making it a huge success. Nolan Bushnell, however, had made it loud and clear that he thought Atari should ditch the VCS after the holiday season and move on to create a bigger and better console.
Damn, like instantly after. On the Intellivision ripped off this game. Play the fake AVGN videos that Guru Larry made. I'll have to look for them. Anything that BTFOs the Arabs.
Warner Communications, on the other hand, was behind the VCS 100% and vetoed his decision. They also hired a man named Ray Kassar to be Atari's new consultant.
Immediately ditching your console. He does I like Guru Larry's videos. Immediately ditching your console months after it came out. Yeah, it was a stupid idea. The Atari VCS, the 2600, lasted for 12, 13 years. It was on the market forever.
Ray started by creating a marketing campaign.
He really hasn't uploaded in forever.
That would keep the VCS from getting lost on the retail shelf.
Attention shoppers, the new Atari cartridge game is in.
Excuse me. Uh-oh. George again. Harry's anti-battle. It comes with 27 games, but that's just for starters. You can get 9 cartridges, 187 games. Blackjack. Oh!
I'd like an Atari.
Sorry, only our demonstrators left. Mine! No, George. Mine.
That's a nice clapback.
New video computer system by Atari. More games, more fun.
At this point in time, the tide of the video game crash was slowly changing. But before it was completely over, the arcade game side of things would need something special to get players
Space
excited.
Invaders. I have a collection of Space Invaders games for the Switch. It's a pretty good collection, but it's missing a few of the Space Invader games. There's no Attack of the Lunar Loonies on it, which is stupid. And there's 2 fucking versions of Space Invaders 91.
Coming up next, the arcade games of 1978.
The arcade games of 1978. Hey, Wonder Waffles.
In 1978, the Atari VCS kept trying to fight its way into the homes of consumers all across the country. Atari spent $5 million on a marketing campaign.
Hey, JoJo. They actually released a new Atari 2600 this year that's HD, and you can play all the old console games on it. You can even play 7800 games on it.
The sales would be great for the holiday season.
Okay, Atari, let's see your best pitch.
One of the ways Atari tried doing this was by having the best lineup of video games available that no one else could offer. One of these was the sports game Basketball. This was the very first basketball game to feature everything sports fans loved about the game. Jump balls, stealing, and half-court shots from downtown.
78 emulation on the 2600 Plus was awful for a while, really. Yes, I did have a nice 4th. Thank you, Wonder Waffles.
Okay, I guess we'll have to wait a few years on that one.
Shitty emulation that hadn't been, updated since 2011? Damn.
If sports is not your thing, then there's always Hangman. Okay, let's see. A? Is this word Adam?
Awesome.
Nope. How about Adam? Oh, I know. Ajax. What the hell is this word? Away! Ah, stupid piece of crap! What the hell is this supposed to be? I thought this was a kid's game, not a porno.
That looks like a tail. Why does he have a tail?
One of the biggest games to come out of the holiday season for Atari was the game Breakout. Since the arcade game was so popular for them, it's a no-brainer that porting this game to the VCS only gave them continued success. The second hit game for Atari was called Night Driver. This was a driving game that broke the traditional driving overhead view.
That's actually, you know, for a game made in 1978, that's really fucking impressive.
For one that was a first-person view. Ah, sweet, it's just like driving my own car. Of course, this game is a pain in the
Why isn't that on the Atari 50 collection? Tally dumping.
ass to play. Ah! I'm out of here.
Oh.
Throughout 1978 and into 79, Atari continued adding more sports games to their roster, like football.
That is, when I was little, very fun game, and it looked really cool on the TV. Atari Solaris for the 2600 has got to be the most impressive looking game on the Atari. It looks really cool. And it's fun to play, too.
And bowling.
Bowling's on the 50 collection. Alright, that was pretty funny.
Other games were also released called Human Cannonball. Alright, let's do this.
Oh, it's like Atari 2600 Angry Birds.
Ported version of Skydiver.
Oh, shit!
And Canyon Bomb.
Had early NES graphics yeah, it did.
Alright, time to empty this canyon. This may take a while. 1979 also brought us Superman, which was the very first video game to be created around an established franchise. Find the phone
That's pretty cool.
booth in the game, and you'll be able to take control of Superman so you can fly around, grab enemies, and even check out the sexy Lois Lane. Time to see what's underneath that dress.
Why does he look like he's cosplaying as a fucking character from Akira?
With my X-ray vision. Damn these pixel limitations. Atari kept producing even
He
more
couldn't get a good Superman outfit.
from their arcade library,
Please understand.
like Circus, Steeplechase, and
Tower Diver. You played as an airplane ran by Arabs and you flew into a big tower. Wait, that sounds familiar.
Alright, you lousy varmint. Draw! No, that's a cactus, you idiot!
Da 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 da.
But Atari was not looking to give the consumer the ability to play from just their arcade library, but they also wanted to offer titles made by their competitors
Tetsuo!
like Space Invaders. So Atari then did the unthinkable and secured the rights to bring these types of video games to the VCS. This was the very first time in video game history that two
Tetsuo.
competitors would join forces. And it was a move that helped.
The 2600 version of Space Invaders is actually, technically, it's superior to the arcade game. Forever be the best anime film ever made. Classic.
Make both of them more money.
Also, that's not the Atari version. He's playing the arcade version. And if you look closely, you can see that it's actually just a YouTube video.
As well as making the VCS
Very innovative.
more of a success. As the company rose in pop,
Yeah, that is not the Atari version of Space Invaders. That's actually the arcade version. Akira, truly one of its kind. 2001 dub. I got it from Walmart for like $5, and it includes both dubs. It's really cool.
Nolan Bushnell began creating
I need to watch
a lot
it,
of props
actually.
for the new owners of Atari. Nolan's vision for the company was to abandon the VCS and create a whole new console. Warner Communications' vision, on the other hand, was to
Both dubs have pros
keep
and
the
cons.
VCS and continue expanding their library of video games.
88-2 is... Oh, wow.
After their conflicts for the future came to a boiling point, Warner had no choice but to fire Nolan from the company he had created.
Oh, shit.
Now don't feel too badly for Nolan, because shortly after that, he went on to create a popular chain of restaurants that combined video games with pizza. And he called it Chuck E. Cheese.
Holy shit, I didn't know Nolan Bushnell did that. Wow.
Atari kept sailing full speed ahead, and even though they blew away all their competition, one competitor managed to come along with a strategy that would start giving Atari a run for their money.
Oh shit, the Intellivision.
Coming up in part 10,
Worst pizza ever.
the Intellivision.
I think I skipped the video. Holy shit. Ah, well.
Alright guys, there you go, another installment in the...
Yeah, I think we skipped a few videos. Yeah, Atari Midway. Actually, I gotta pee. I'm gonna go take a piss. I'll be right back. I'm not gonna have any music playing. Can fight with a beer in the hand. All right, we're back with a burrito in one hand, a cell phone in the other, 6 kids taped to the back seat, Mexican women in fights. Holy shit. There we go.
When 1978 came around, the arcade game market was in a huge rut. It was so bad that even RCA bowed out of making video games, leaving Atari and Midway
I didn't even know RCA made video games.
out throughout the rest of the year. Midway was the first to release their game in January, called Clowns.
Clowns.
The point of this game
You're the
is
whole
to send clowns
circus.
soaring into the air
Pablo Francisco's fucking funny.
and collect all the balloons high
Little
above
tortilla
them.
boy.
Miss the target, and you'll end up killing the poor
With
sap.
soundtrack by Aaron Neville. You gotta stop them tortillas.
But if you keep them up in the
He
air
sounds like
long
someone
enough to
changing
collect
a radio
an entire
station
row
in the middle of a
balloons,
song.
You'll be handsomely rewarded.
200
Just be
points.
careful when lining up your shot, because all kinds of crazy antics
RCA for the cables. Yeah.
occur.
One man, one way.
Whoa!
So it's Breakout with clowns. Alright. Get it? Got it?
Fancy
Good.
line there, buddy.
They went too far. They went too far. They broke the rules. They broke the rules. Those are my lines. Those are his lines. Kermit the Frog is a pimp. Where's my money, bitch? Right next to the hotel I'm at right now. Where's my money, bitch? Slap.
Atari next released a game called Avalanche. This
Avalanche.
game has snowballs cascading from the top of the screen,
Boom.
and the player has to collect them as they drop
Oh, it's fucking Kaboom. It's Kaboom.
before they hit the ground. The longer you play,
Empty is pretending he's busy working instead of crying in the shower, eating cookies, and thinking of
the
gas.
more intense this game becomes. The snowballs
Rent
become
free,
smaller,
baby.
faster, and even the paddles start disappearing from the screen.
Oh shit.
Ah, damn it! No! Ah, crap! The second game Atari released that year was called Fire Truck.
That's on Atari 50, and that's actually pretty cool to play as.
The point is to drive a fire truck through the city streets without touching any of the street sides. The only problem
Crunch.
here is that you're driving around the most bulkiest piece of crap ever constructed. Fire Truck was the very first game that allowed 2 players to work together at the exact same time. And of course, this was dubbed the co-op experience. One player controlled the front half of the truck,
It's cool to see gaming's origins like that, like the first co-op
while
game.
the other controlled the back half. Hey, watch where you're going, you idiot! I'm trying to! Hurry up, time's running out!
Crunch.
Oh, I hate you! Oh, go play in traffic.
Rent free,
Oh, fuck.
baby. Oh shit.
With the arrival of summer of '78 came the arrival of video game sequels. Midway released the game Sea Wolf 2, which was just like the original, but now allowed you to shoot enemies in full color.
Had this feature, it was terrible. Empty is wrapped up in a blanket eating a pint of ice cream and chugging Franzia boxes till his tears become ethanol over the Spear Hunter jokes. It's like that one kill from Final Destination. Oh, yeah.
Atari then fired back with a sequel called Super Breakout, which was just like the game Breakout, but the longer you played...
Again, Arkanoid is better. And I'm still shocked that Taito allowed fucking Square Enix to put Arkanoid in Life is Strange.
Caused the entire board to shift downward. What the? Come on! Hey, come on! Come on!
Tells 100 gay jokes a minute react this way when he gets called
Atari
gay.
kept firing back with even more arcade titles like Skydiver, where players take turns...
Lol, collect. Trying to comfort himself with food, but the hurt on his will not heal.
Jumping out of planes to score the most points.
Should run off him like water off a raincoat, yet he reacts like he's been found out.
While Midway came back...
Maybe Empty is gay.
...back with the game called Blue Shark, this was one of the first
Legend
games
of Kage would have fit better.
that allowed you to hunt down sea creatures.
They should have put that fucking fighting game in there with the dinosaurs. Quote that, yes.
Atari also returned with the re-release of an updated version of the game that started it all, Computer Space. Released under the new title Orbit, this game contained brighter graphics and even more objects like these twirling whatchamacallits. Dear God, twirling whatchamacallits, dead ahead!
I'm shocked that Computer Space is not on Atari 50. That's literally their first game. No, not my ass, Method. Not my ass. Get out of there through the...
First horse!
At least spit on it first. Alright, that's literally just a fucking, yeah. Read the chat in your best empty voice. In your best empty voice.
That summer to release his first video game called GB, which is not to be confused with G's. Video game maker Gremlin also joined the fray by releasing the game Frogs, which allowed you to hop around the...
Oh, I have that. It's on the... I have it on the Intellivision collection. I have Intellivision Lives for the GameCube, and one of the games is Frog Bog. That's Frog Bog.
...screen in order to collect flies, butterflies, dragonflies, and even pompous Englishmen.
Ah, pardon me, sir. Can I trouble you for a sporty? Ah, jolly good show!
The month of October saw the release of a game that would put Atari
You do it all. Thank
ahead
you,
of the
Collected G.
competition with their most popular game of the year, football. Released just in time for the football season, this game had fans everywhere flocking to this machine.
Look how primitive that looks. Like, look at this game, and then go look at the modern, like a new Madden release. Like, look how far we've come. Holy shit. But also look how far we've gone back, because, like, I guarantee you there's not like 1,000 microtransactions in this game.
Players could take control of Team X or Team O and finally play a decent game of football in the video game landscape. Damn it, UX
Had a lot more imagination back, yeah.
Reception. Everyone, hit the showers! With this game, Atari could...
You cheated. Show us your hands, Joey JoJo. Show us your teeny little hands.
Finally beat out Midway for the most popular game of the year.
It's like Matchbox 20 song, Joey.
Unless... Alien! Well, unless an alien invasion of epic proportions rolled into town.
Space Invaders.
Midway had an ace up their sleeve called Space Invaders. In this game, the player must destroy the alien army that is constantly marching downward.
That game's great, and yeah, they released a collection of Space Invader games for the Switch, and it's a good collection. It's just missing some titles like Attack of the Lunar Loonies, and there are 2 versions of Space Invaders 91. It's really weird.
Your mission is to shoot them all before they
this game's the first shoot 'em up game. This game's a classic. I love it.
The faster the music speeds up. The faster the music speeds up, the more pressure you begin to feel. The more pressure you begin to feel, the more threatening the situation becomes. The more threatening the situation becomes, the more likely you are to mess up and kill us all! Oh my god, I can't take this pressure! Ah!
Jeez.
Finally, Midway had a huge success on their hands. So many people were playing this game.
Except that wasn't Midway, that was Taito, I guess. Possible rights issue? Maybe.
In fact, that it even caused a coin shortage over in Japan. And here's a fast fact. This game was actually created by Japanese company Taito, who licensed
Taito, but alright.
it through Midway to bring it to the US market. And it was a good thing they did.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Space Invaders
Really
changed
good.
the entire landscape of arcade gaming in the US. Before this game was released, arcade machines were only found in places like bars, pool halls, and bowling alleys. Now they were showing up in family hangouts like
Potato.
pizza parlors, restaurants, and drugstores.
There was not a coin shortage because of Space Invaders, it was because of actual economic issues. Oh, wow.
Midway had successfully taken the crown away from
Potatoes.
Atari in the arcade world. Unfortunately for Atari, another competitor was going to try taking away their home video game console crown as well. Coming up next, Magnavox Odyssey 2.
Alright. Magnavox Odyssey, that's in the M's. People are happy and still had hope in those days. Yeah, not like now. Company behind every rare NES game. Yes. Still makes the best arcade games. They still make arcade games? Part 8. Alright.
By the end of 1978, the arcade world had successfully pulled out of the first video game crash. Atari, meanwhile, was facing a battle on both fronts. They had already been defeated in the arcade wars of 1978 to
There was a dollar menu.
Midway, while over in the home console arena, Magnavox was gearing up to do the exact same thing. At the time, Magnavox was looking for a console that could outperform the Atari
Nice Lego Batman 3 poster.
PCS. So they ended up creating the Magnavox Odyssey
Idolizing the boomers and their mentality. Hate to see
2,
it.
which contained every state-of-the-art bell and whistle they could find.
Look at that thing. Look at that fucking beautiful thing. That looks like a computer from a sci-fi movie. That is
From the
awesome.
current electronics world. It came with an interchangeable cartridge system,
The cartridges have little handles. That's nice.
2 joysticks that moved in 8 directions, a reset button, a full computer keyboard, cartridges with handles, and even a
Clear memories of more prosperous times. The Odyssey 2 was such a good and underrated system.
branded adapter box. Time to plug this bad boy in with style.
That is a little adapter box. Go look at the fucking Television 2 adapter box, then go look back at that one. Old man Cass. Oh, fuck. Not that guy again.
What the?
Board games that interacted well into a game on the TV screen. It was a mix of both. Ooh. Get off my lawn. Touched your 32-button controller yet?
Hello, Dave. Let's play a game. Wait a minute. That's what's wrong. This TV's on channel 4. Magnavox Odyssey only works on channel 3. No, wait. Don't you turn that channel.
There we go. Problem solved.
Let's get this party started. Now, Magnavox did the smart thing by packaging the console with one video game cartridge, just like the Atari did. On it contained 3 games: Speedway, Spinout, and Cryptozoologic. Speedway was a racing game which allowed you to control a race car that raced up.
It's so primitive, but you know this
past
game's
other
probably fun.
cars. Accidentally bump into any obstacle on the screen, and you'll turn into a pixelated mess.
Oh shit. That car got fucked up. I'm afraid I can't let you play that, Dave.
Oh, that's it. Time to get my racing glasses on.
It makes him go fast. Oh shit.
The second game, Spinout, is the basic concept of 2
Speed.
players racing around the screen, trying to collect the most points.
Yeah, off-road champ, that is not. Hey, look, it's that guy from Sly Cooper. You said you'd bring me over and we could play Atari. Does that look like an Atari to you, Mr. Bores?
Boy, I'm leaving this moron in the dust. Slow and steady wins the race. And Cryptozoologic
I like how all of Chris Bore looks kind of like Chris Chan with shades on.
was the first video game to make use of the computer keyboard pad to help unlock secret codes.
Huh.
Although I'm not entirely sure how this game is supposed
Mr. Vid's face
to
reveal.
work.
you idiot. It's from Disney's Robin Hood.
Magnum
Goofy here. Meanwhile, Twitter, he's like, Jew Wario is 6 feet under in the depths of hell.
box also included a few other titles available to purchase at launch, like computer golf. Yep, it's just as boring as watching the actual sport.
Welcome back to another golf game, folks. I'm Johnny Newscaster.
And I'm Ronnie the Skeleton.
And now we're going to go down to the links and see what the
He really likes that fucking skeleton character.
golfers are up to. Well, looks like he's lining up his shot there. Pulls back his club in an attempt to hit it, and oh, damn, it looks like nothing happened. Well, looks like he's going to try one more time at this thing, and nope, he screwed up again. Boy, he's going to be one irate golfer by the time this game is over. Oh.
It's like the skeleton of the guy that killed himself on Facebook Live with the shotgun. Golf is actually cringe. There are some good golf games. Kirby's Dream Course, Mario Golf. Ronnie is one of the best irate gamer characters. Oh my god, am I on? And Neo Turf Masters are really good golf games. Gentlemen only, ladies forbidden. Yeah, Neo Turf I have Neo Turf Masters. I need to stream it at some point.
Par there, Ronnie. I hope that pixelated thing is supposed to be a golf club, because if not, I might have to slap a XXX rating on this game. Another title called I've Got Your Number allows two players to take turns touching the exact item that solves the riddle on the bottom of the screen. Alright, 2 circles equals 2 what? What? Alright,
What the fuck?
1? 4?
What is that blind guy trying to do?
Thing. Yeah, I got one.
Treatment
Now,
of for
2
Asperger's is
sailboats
called
equal, 2
violence.
sailboats? Huh, I think I'm getting the hang of this. Of course, later on, the game tries stumping you with even harder questions.
Asperger's. Looks like Kurt Cobain intermixed with Trump. Oh god. Turn-based RPG, that's just a soccer game. That's probably the, God, what is that game called?
4 triangles plus 2 boats to the power of spade equals, triangle, circle, hashtag wheelchair guy?
I know it. It's like an anime series about soccer that's really popular in Europe.
Alright, well, let's try Quest for the Rings.
Y'all want an ass shake?
What the hell
Very-
is this? I'm sitting here waiting to collect some rings. Alright, now we're
Oh,
cooking.
Lord, them
Let's just go and
rings.
grab this sucker. Well, if I can make it, that is.
As a pejorative needs to make a comeback. Captain Tsubasa, thank you.
Oh, what the hell, man? I can't even take 2 steps across the screen without dying. This game should have been called The Quest to Live More Than 5 Seconds Long. Well, I guess there's always keyboard creations. Let's see, press the R button, it appears on the screen. Press the
That's
T button,
cool.
also appears on the screen. Well, I guess this game is pretty much self-explanatory. Were people in 1978 really impressed by this? Whoa, check that out. Far
It's like a little computer.
out, dude. Well, how about Armored Encounter, which seems eerily similar to the game
That's literally combat.
Tank created by Atari. In fact, most of these other Odyssey games seem similar to Atari games too. Tank, Blackjack, Air Sea Battle, Speedway, Spin Out, Alien Invaders. Oh, come on. Alien Invaders? You mean like Space Invaders? Yep, I'm afraid so. Well, at least the execution is a little bit different at least. Get hit once, and you lose your ship. Duck behind one of these black boxes, and you can turn it into another ship. Run out of black boxes, and, well, that's it. You're dead.
That's pretty cool. It adds some more strategy to it.
And of course, if you manage to knock out all the bad guys, you get the lucky prize of starting this game all over again. Not in my damn house. In
Those cartridges do look really cool. I love the handles.
Odyssey's later years, Magnavox even created games based off other popular games like Pac-Man, Centipede, Asteroids, and more.
Just to complete out, also that Asteroids game looks more like Defender.
Huh. Weird. The Odyssey 2 was released in the fall of 1978, just in time for the holiday season. And
Extra
despite Magnavox's
big-ass
best
fries.
efforts, the new console just couldn't reach anywhere near the level of success that Atari was having. Atari already had a great library of games in place from 1977, as well as a brand new set of games already set to sell for their second holiday season. With that kind of reach, Atari was able to leave Magnavox in the dust and win the console wars of 1978. Coming up in Part 9, Atari's 1978 lineup.
Which we already watched because my dumbass watched it first. So we only have one more video in this series left, and that's the Intellivision. This is it. This is the last video in his history of video games. He cut it short. I wish he needs to bring it back up again. That'd be awesome. Part 10.
While Atari was cruising full steam ahead with their video
The comfy. This is pretty comfy, yeah. Yeah.
game console, many competitors also tried breaking into the market alongside them, but ultimately failed. It wasn't until toy maker Mattel came along and produced a console
Yeah, Mattel made. That's actually a really cool little system.
of their very own that Atari was about to face a real big competition.
I have the Intellivision Lives collection, and they're pretty fun games, but it's kind of hard to figure out what you're supposed to do because look at the controllers.
Mattel first started dabbling in the video game arena with some simple handheld video games. After those proved successful, they decided to go bigger and create their very own video game system called the Intellivision.
Look at that controller. It looks like a phone.
In order to make their mark at retail, Mattel needed an edge on Atari, and their strategy consisted of cornering the market on all things sports. They just didn't carry the
A lot
game
of sports.
football, but football endorsed by the NFL. This also included MLB baseball,
That's actually really cool if they got the license.
NBA basketball, PGA golf, NHL hockey, NASL soccer, US ski team skiing, PBA bowling,
It's funny, in the Intellivision collection, it's just called bowling, soccer, football. Like, none of the league names are on it.
Rock'em Sock'em Robot Boxing, and so many more. A US Federation chess-sponsored chess game? Well, take that, Atari. Mattel also tried outperforming the Atari's VCS in every way possible. The system had better graphics, wow, a wider range of sounds, wow,
Wow.
12,000% more controller buttons,
Yeah, for games that simple, you don't need a fucking keypad. And each game had little overlays you can stick into it.
whoa, and even controllers
Yeah,
that were
there we go.
customizable with different plastic overlays. Awesome!
That is pretty cool.
There was also a
And
new way to insert
very necessary to know what the fuck you're doing.
the game. Okay. Controllers attached to the console,
I don't like that because controllers can break.
and misleading cover art. This looks nothing like the dragon in the game.
The dragon in my dream.
Of course, despite the aesthetics of the console, it's always the game's library that's the determining factor of success. Well, let's check out the game's
It's like trying to stick your dick in a Cheerio.
scheme. Ah yes, a refreshing trek downhill through the snowy slopes.
Yeah, this is no ski free, everyone. The Yeti isn't
Figure
going
out
to
how
run
move
down and eat
forward
you.
it is. Damn these overcomplicated
We need to do an Amico stream. Is that even out? Is like, that's baseless, Chris.
controls.
Basilisk.
Well, I guess this is where the controller overlays come in handy. And we're finally moving. Whoops. Ugh. No!
Yeah, this is not
Left.
ski free.
Ah!
You killed him.
Great, I just Sonny Bono'd this game.
Holy shit, Chris. That's good. That's really good.
Well, let's try the game Space Hawk, which features an astronaut flying around in space, dodging all sorts of crazy obstacles. Space
Everything was space back then because all you had to do was just a black background with dots.
asteroids, space bubbles, space seagulls, space seagulls.
Space seagulls.
If only I had a space Alka-Seltzer right about now.
Every day is a Tums
Well,
festival.
now let's check out some horse racing. Time to place my bet with the computer bookie, and away we go.
Can't I just bet that everyone will have a good time? Oh, you want that booth over there.
If I can figure out which button starts the game. What the hell?
Yeah, yeah. The Intellivision games are really complex because of all the buttons. In Television Lives, I'm like mashing buttons to figure out what the fuck I'm supposed to do.
And of course I don't have the stupid controller overlay for this game either. Ugh. I forget it. Well, now time for some sea battle.
Sea battle.
Alright, man. Full steam ahead. Take us out.
That guy with the hat next to Chris Bores, that's being played by Chris Bores, is supposed to be the neighbor from Home Improvement.
Oh, aye aye, Captain.
Aye aye, Captain. I had that classically trained. I had a classically trained shirt, but it was basically the same thing as his hat.
Anything yet, Lieutenant? Nope, not a thing, sir. Well, son of a bitch.
Some bitch.
In that case, Lieutenant, take us to the nearest nudie bar. All right. Pathetic. Well, let's move on to Night Stalker. In this game, I must be very careful.
Yeah, that game's on the Intellivision Lives collection as well. It's a little complex, but once I got a handle of how to play it, it's actually kind of fun.
Well, not to alert any monster of my presence. One false move and they'll know I'm here and they'll come to attack me.
You gotta get the gun.
Uh-oh.
You didn't get the gun. You're supposed to get the gun.
Ah, crap. Well, let's just switch gears here to the fantasy game called Dragonfire. Time to send our knight into battle. I'm sure that's just a fluke. I'll get it next time.
You'll get it. Nope.
Alright, one more.
Halloween game looks spooky. I kind of like it. Get the knife. Did I mention get the knife? You trying to cut steak with a spoon? No, get the knife.
Time.
That NES port of Ghost and Goblins is so fucking awful. It was done by the same people who did the Akari Warriors and Athena NES port. Yet Ghost and Goblins gets a pass for some reason.
One more time.
Oh fuck. Felt it. I beat it, took forever. Yeah, it's really hard.
What the f***? Oh, this is freaking ridiculous. I can't even make it off the first screen.
Jacket at a convention once that was belonged to a staff of members that worked on the Halloween and Texas Chainsaw Massacre Atari games. That's awesome.
Yes. Ah! You want Dragonfire? I'll give you Dragonfire.
The After
Well, I
Effect
guess
made it
there's always
disappear.
the game Star Strike, where your mission is to fight off tons
That actually looks really impressive for a game released in the early 80s.
of these alien ships. Time to kill us some aliens.
That's the same jacket he wore as What's-His-Nuts.
And of course,
Ghost and Goblins NES is overrated. I agree. I agree entirely. Yeah, it's not a good game. Steam couldn't even make it past the second level. Yeah, Gargoyles Quest 2 is really good.
if the Force isn't with you, they'll end up blowing up the planet.
It was Micronix. Micronix did Ghost and Goblins for NES. They also did Akari Warriors and Athena. All fucking bad ports. All of them. Just across the board.
Death Star. Use the Force, Chris. I'm doing just fine, you old coot. What? Ah, crap!
Didn't they remake Gargoyles? Yes, they did. Gargoyles, Akari Warriors, and NES was vile. That game was ass. That game sucks. Yeah, they remade Gargoyles. Gargoyles on the Sega Genesis is not a good game. I remember renting it as a kid and having fun with it. I played through the game recently, like a few weeks ago. That game is not good. The Game Boy Color port of Ghost and Goblins is the best version. I'm just going to stick with the arcade version, but I remember the Game Boy Color version being okay. Fixes the ending text, the controls are smooth, and it's much easier. Oh, rip.
Oh, great, there goes my favorite restaurant. I told you to use the Force, you idiot. I should have just called this game Star Wars. Either
Literally, it's the trench run. Yeah.
that or Defend Alderaan.
Well, Alderaan's gone, so it's more like defend, I don't know, trench run?
Well, let's try this later released title called Beauty and the Beast, where this giant ape has grabbed
Alright, this is just fucking Donkey Kong.
the beauty and climbs up a tall skyscraper. Shouldn't this game be called King Kong? Well, anyways, you control this guy that must climb up the windows to reach the big giant
Yeah, this is just Donkey Kong. It's literally just Donkey Kong.
ape. Yeah, that's not creepy at all. Oh!
Got best version of certain games, most of them being on the NES first. Yeah, true. It was also, I think, it got really good versions of Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3. Pretty good version of Deja Vu, and it even got Deja Vu 2. Looks more like a guy in a gorilla suit.
Sorry, ma'am, don't mind me. And of course, one of the obstacles here are these barrels being thrown by this giant ape.
1 and 2 are great. Hey, Bruce.
Wait a minute. Something shady going on here.
Jinx.
Well, time for some triple action.
This is just combat.
Action, nothing. This is just the game Tank.
Or combat.
Well, how about reversing? Checkers? Block and chase? Oh, for
Pac-Man.
crying out loud. That
It's
just looks like a
Pac-Man.
rehash of the game Pac-Man. A Pac who? Alright. We'll get to him in a couple episodes.
He never gets to him. George, they're on to us. Yeah, he never made it to Pac-Man, which sucks.
Yes, it's true. And television had many titles that mirrored popular video games that were already available on the VCS. When the system launched in the Christmas season of 1979, sales started off very slow and picked up with each passing year. Mattel's video game system never did outperform the Atari, because they just couldn't compete with the video game library that was exclusive only to the VCS. And as history will show, the golden age
Is as old as Gaseous.
of video games was about to begin.
He didn't get to Pac-Man because he decided to hunt Ghost IRL. Yeah, he never... This is it. This is the last episode.
Alright guys, there you go, another history of video games
Yeah, that's literally the last episode of his history of video games. He never got past the Intellivision.
completed. For all the past episodes, make sure you check out the playlist there. And for the Irate Gamer videos, check out the playlist there. Make sure to subscribe, and as always, game on.
I think the next stream I might... not next stream, but the next Irate Gamer stream, I might do Season 6, because there's some pretty good episodes in there. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I streamed for about 2.5 hours. We watched all the history of video games. A little bit out of order, but, you know, that happens. I think I'm going to call it a night. Stick a fork in me. Next stream, it's going to be more Sly Cooper or something else. I will see you guys later. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys learned something about gaming. Dead Inside. Sorry you just missed me, Dead Inside. Sorry about that. Alright, have a good night, guys.